Let's play some baseball, everybody. How's it going? My name is MrHurriicane, and welcome to today's live stream. We're playing some MLB The Show Night 18. I always forget what year it is because their season starts and ends in the same calendar year, so they don't have to do the classic marketing trick of making it sound like it's a year newer than it is. But anyway, it's time for some baseball action here. Spring training in the Minnesota Twins franchise. My plan today is to go through just a handful more games and finish up spring training, just kind of getting things fine-tuned and ready for the season beginning. I really hope that my audio is lining up. I don't understand the issues I've had lately with it because I understand how to line it up. The problem is that I'll run a test and I'll figure out what needs to be lined up, and then I'll fix it. And the delay just it's always moving. I hope it's working now. I worked on it as much as I could, but it doesn't seem to be an issue that gets better with time. There's an issue somewhere that I can't figure out. Maybe it's my webcam outputting at the wrong frames per second or something, and it's getting a little bit messed up. I have no clue. But welcome! Where is Super Mega Baseball? I was working on it today. I have most of the prospects made, and I'm going to be able to do that off-season special pretty soon. So, I put out a video in the Twins franchise not too long ago. Will I show the opening day roster on stream? I'm probably not going to make every cut here during the stream. I like to take some time and whatnot to get it finalized. I might make some decisions, though. But in the previous video, we kind of saw, who's having a good spring and who isn't. Thankfully, some of our key players are. We have Paul Goldschmidt with 8 home runs and a .404 average. We have Charlie Blackmon, our best, maybe contact specialist. Then you have Byron Buxton hitting .288, up to an 85 overall. It is the final year. Is it the final year of his contract, or it's the second to last year of this 4-year deal I gave him? It must be second to last, but I'll verify here in a moment. But there's been constant chatter, you should get rid of Buxton, you should try to trade him. And I think that obviously things need to work soon. He's in year 3 of 4, so he's still pretty cheap. And he's also at a position where we're not super deep. So I'm hoping that he eventually just becomes the player we need when he's batting. Obviously, his defense is top-notch. He's very fast. He has these weird reverse splits where he's better against righties and worse against lefties. We need him to get better against lefties. So hoping that we can bring that up here in the next season and he becomes a bigger part of our offense. I really like the team I have put together, though. When I got a chance to use the new pitchers, I thought they were all pretty dynamic in their own ways. You have Tony Watson here, along with Will Smith. These guys have given up a couple runs, so in their few innings, it's skewing their numbers. But when I've played with them, they've been on fire. Jake Reed, he was better in year 2 than year 3. So I just don't want to see a trend where he gets worse, because I'm thinking that the 2018 is the real Jake Reed. I know he's 79 overall with C potential, but I think that we can keep him in the low 3s. Still, he's really good. And then for starting pitching, really impressed with the strides that we've taken with Yadier Alvarez in the series. Dallas Keuchel is a great ace. Gary Tadano looking good so far in the spring, and Maxwell Fowler has allowed a 1 run in 18 innings. Nope, no cashews. I've been taking a break. I just haven't been have not been craving them lately, I guess. You really need to start looking at OPS for hitters and FIP for pitchers. Yeah, they do XFIP and FIP in here, correct? What sucks is that you have to scroll sometimes to find these things decent ways, but OPS is not too far off. The thing is, I don't really know what a good OPS is. They're all arbitrary numbers to me. It's where I know 300 is a really good average. I know 275 is pretty good. I just don't know what the ranges are for OPS because there's a wide range you can get there. We have Goldschmidt with over double what Rosario's getting. And FIP is another one that's a little strange. And then you have some of these sabermetrics that are like scaled off of the league average. I don't know. I haven't spent enough time studying these to really understand them. Although they're super useful if you know what you're doing with them. But I think it's time to jump into some action today and get into at least a few games. I'm probably not going to play like a full 9-inning game or anything. I'm probably going to play a few innings here and there to get around to some different players. Want to get some good variety in here. Want to get some of the backups some playing time as well. Players I haven't used as much. So maybe Taylor Motter will play a little bit more. And then also Nick Gordon. Especially with his spring not really off to a good start. I'm hoping that he can make a spot on the roster, but I'm not sure. I'm not convinced. What's up, Kane? Thoughts on the NFC North? I think the NFC North has proven to be a very overrated division coming into the season. I wasn't with everybody else thinking it was one of the better divisions in the NFL or one of the most competitive. I just felt like there wasn't a team that you could pencil in to be like 5 wins or less. But all 4 teams could compete for the playoffs, but I don't think that any team is really built for sustained playoff success. The Vikings maybe can get there, but I just think they're pretty flawed on offense, and being a Viking fan, I would like to talk about them a little bit better, but I think that they are a 10-win team or so, and you know, maybe one playoff victory, maybe a one and done. FIP is exactly the same scale as ERA. Okay. Yeah, that Packers ejection. I didn't really catch it live. I think I watched the play after the fact, and I'm just like, wait a minute. He got ejected for that? If you're just joining, welcome to today's live stream. Some Minnesota Twins franchise action. Year 4 is getting underway pretty soon, so I'm hoping that we can have a very good year and we get through it a lot quicker than we did in year 3. If you're wondering why I have the microphone like this today, well, it's kind of useful because I don't really want a big microphone in the way. But also, when I'm playing these baseball games especially, I don't like a bunch of stuff in my peripheral vision, because when I'm hitting here I need to be like laser focused on a few visual cues so I can time up my swing just right, and it's really distracting to have like my webcam blocking part of the screen or this microphone like in my vision just like distracting me. So hopefully I can get kind of into the swing of things here hitting, because I sure wasn't in the highlight video. Felt like I got pretty good at the end, but I just wasn't getting good contact. Here we have a fly ball out of Blackman, deep left field, and that's catchable. Do I think Adam Thielen will get close to the record next season? I don't think he'll put together another 100-yard streak like this. It's pretty rare. I don't think he'll get to 2,000 yards this season, but I think that he'll end up, I'd say Thielen is good for about 1,600 yards this year and 10 touchdowns. Oh, man. His off speed is really slow. I'm way ahead of it. Also, I'm just really itching to get some good swings with Yasiel Puig, and I've yet to get one. I know a lot of people are going to suggest different hitting settings, and that is not up for debate. I don't like zone hitting. I don't like PCI. I don't like any of that stuff, and I don't understand how anybody has the reaction time to do all that in a short pitch anyway. Just doesn't work for me. I tried for years, and I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just going to do timing hitting. I'm not going to guess zones or anything. I'm just going to let ratings dictate a lot as I do swing timing, and that's the way I grew up playing baseball games, and it's the way I will continue to play them. So 3 up, 3 down for us. Who are the Twins playing on opening day? I'm not sure if the regular season schedule is available in the show franchise when you're in the spring, but I'm imagining it is. I think you have your whole calendar set up. Do I think the Vikings will keep Latavius Murray next season? I could see it happening, but the way he's playing, I think that he might be playing himself out of their price range. The Vikings have very little cap space going into next year, and the last thing they're going to spend that on is a second running back at such a disposable position. As much as I'm enjoying Murray's play, especially when they can get him and Dalvin both going, but I just think that he's going to play himself into a little bit more expensive role with a more desperate franchise. Could be a team like Tampa Bay. And he's, I think he's a Florida guy. I know he went to Central Florida. So maybe he'd have interest in going down there if they offered him a good deal. Okay, Max, let's get this under control here. I don't really have a favorite baseball team besides the Twins. I know for a little while growing up, I kind of was a fan of the Padres because I went to San Diego, went to their stadium, watched them play. So kind of paid attention to them and the Chargers for a little while. But, I mean, outside of my favorite teams, I just kind of cheer for players I like. Oh, we got this one, right? What? I think they hit him in the cleat. And there's some major speed on the base paths, so we're not getting that runner out. That was weird. Yeah, I think Tampa Bay's in a tough situation. I think that they're going to need to get a realistic competitor for Jameis Winston. This might not be the best quarterback class, and depending where they're selecting, which I think Fitzpatrick plays them into like maybe a borderline top 10 spot. 2 plays we're just so close to making there. Oh well. It's spring. Man, we just look sloppy out here. Can you do some COD? I don't really do content on those games anymore. Doesn't really fit into my wheelhouse, and I'm not really committed to getting good at it or putting a lot of time into it, so I like to stick to what I know a bit better. Oh man. After an E9, it's the 3rd run allowed here in the first off Maxwell Fowler, of which I don't really put much blame on him. I don't play all the games in season, no, I sim quite a few of them, but I think I'd like to do some more streams like this during the season just to get a few more played. Then I can throw some highlights into other episodes. Man, Max is just getting... like, they just keep making good contacts now. Maybe now I have to blame him. It's 4-0 Pirates. What's up with his confidence right now? Not very good. Just get out of the inning, Max. No, I don't think there will be an NFL franchise in London soon. I don't think logistically it makes a lot of sense for travel, free agency. 6-0. What's going on right now? I'm not throwing like awful pitches. All right, Max, it's not your day apparently. Let's get Sandy Bunty in there. Someone wanted to see him, and I do as well. 6-0. Hey, Kane, how are you? I'm doing well. How are you doing? Yeah, I threw the same pitches the same way that I did there, and for some reason we just couldn't get outs. Let me get some hits going here though. Good timing, but we have a lot of hitters on this team that don't have the best vision, so sometimes I get what should be a good swing and it's not good enough. Do I play Out of the Park? I did play it this year a little bit. I don't play it, I haven't played it in a while. And I really liked it. I thought it was a great game. And I had tried starting to do something, and I had some issues recording it. I think I ironed those out. But I think next year at the Out of the Park game, I'll be a bit more serious about giving it a shot and doing something small with it. Maybe taking a team like the Orioles, because I love good rebuild projects. So this is Justin O'Connor, the backup catcher now to Mitch Garver. We'll see if O'Connor can produce enough to warrant some playing time this year, or if we rely on Garver as much as we possibly can. I have the Eagles winning the NFC East. I think in the long haul they will they'll outpace everybody else. Washington suffered some injuries yesterday and got a pretty good beating at home. The Cowboys, I think, could. The Cowboys, I'm really interested in watching the Cowboys tonight with Amari Cooper. I really hope Cooper does well. It's been a while since we saw the Amari Cooper we all thought we were going to see. And I'm hoping the change of scenery is good for him. That last swing was good. It's just with some of these lower rated batters, it doesn't always matter. They're going to have their misses. So here's Nick Gordon. Little chopper to the right side, and they're going to get one. Did they run back the opening kickoff? They did, and then missed the the extra point. What was up with that Alabama kick over the weekend, by the way? That weird kick where it wasn't even close to being good. Like, I didn't even pay attention to the snap and spot, although the spotting did not look good. But the kick, it just looked like there was no shot. It looked like he wasn't even trying to make it go in. Is there any possibility that All-Pro Football will come back? Yes. I'm interested, actually, if I could get a roster editor and I'd go get the game on 360 instead, and I could actually do a bit more with the custom stuff. Yeah, I think I should find a good catcher because although Garver shined last year and almost was Rookie of the Year, I definitely think that he has a capped ceiling, being already in his late 20s, and the fact that he's not a great defensive catcher. And honestly, you need defense out of your catcher more than hitting. If you get hitting, it's kind of a bonus. So right now, he's kind of like a DH playing catcher. He doesn't stop pass balls very well, and his arm isn't super strong. So we're not going to get the top-notch defensive play out of him. It'd be kind of nice if his backup was a defensive specialist, so I could use some strategy and maybe sub out the catcher late in games and, you know, just try to hold base runners if it's a tight game late. Don't have that option right now. How much better is Alabama, though, than everybody else? Like, I had no confidence in LSU making a game out of it. I think that the teams I'd like to see play against Alabama the most would be Clemson again, although I don't want to watch a freshman quarterback against their defense. So I think Ohio State would be fun. Other than that, I don't know. Like, I'm not interested in the Alabama games because I'm not convinced they're going to be good games. Thoughts on the Rams' first loss? You know, they've won some big games already. They held on against the Packers last week. They beat the Vikings in prime time. Losing on the road in the Superdome, you know, it's not a bad way to get your first loss. They didn't look awful in the process. They just had some issues in the first half. That swing when Anzalone had the interception and the Saints capitalized, that was a big deal. And then the Rams had a better second half, and Breeze and the offense got it together at the end of the game. I love to watch those teams just play again in LA this week. That'd be awesome. Oh, come on. I want to get some swings. Okay. I saw enough of Maxwell Fowler today. I don't want to watch him hit. I know it's not going to turn his day around. I want to see Willie out there. Willie Ordonez. Yeah, the fact that, you know, now Bama's quarterback isn't like an A.J. McCarron. They have a true, like, Tua would be a big deal anywhere. And he'd put up way better numbers with a worse team because he would obviously need to. With Alabama's defense, you never need to have a 5-touchdown game out of Tua until someone can actually contest. He might win the Heisman without the eye-popping numbers. Not that his numbers aren't impressive, it's just it doesn't have the volume. He has 1 interception this year, you know, great accuracy, a lot of touchdowns, even without a lot of completions. That was a terrible at-bat. But, yeah, he could actually win the Heisman without putting up like 50 touchdowns or something ridiculous for the position. Yeah, I mean, the Vikings and Bears game is flexed the Sunday night. That's kind of cool. I don't mind watching games earlier in the day, but it should be a good matchup, though. I'm excited to see if we can rattle Trubisky a little bit and maybe take that offense down a notch. All right, Puig. I really want to pick I really want to hit a home run today. I didn't hit a home run in any of those games I played. I want to hit a home run in this stream. Man, I tried to do it right there. Toasted Network, thank you for the super chat. Can you go to Kalispell for a video? Wouldn't that be cool? Maybe one day.
Inside, ball 1.
Man. Let's get Bunty out there now. I'm probably only going to play like another inning or two. I'll do like Bunty's outing, and then I'll sim to the end of the game and go on to another. Yeah, the swings aren't looking great right now. I got to get kind of warmed up. I had the really good swing with Sano. So Bunty was like our last pick in the first draft, and we got lucky to get a player with, I think, B potential. Was already a pretty high overall. No call there on the fastball. What do I think of the Lions? They're underperforming. I think their roster is better than they're playing right now. I'm not so sure about their defense, but their offense should not be that bad. And they've invested way too much in the offensive line to allow 10 sacks to a team that hardly blitzed them. When the Vikings did blitz, it worked, though. But, I mean, they just got dominated yesterday. Wagner, Decker, they all got just absolutely destroyed. Stafford had little to no help, and then in a game where he could have used the safety blanket underneath, I mean, it's their first game without Golden Tate. Man, Pittsburgh can hit. Yeah, Kerryon Johnson's really good. It's just the game flow was so awful yesterday. They didn't get him involved much, but they should have ran him a lot more. They ran him a lot in their previous game. I think he had 6 catches in his previous game, and then yesterday, I mean, they hardly threw it short to their running backs. Every time they did throw it short, it was like outside the numbers. There was like no chance for yards after the catch. It was really poorly run and poorly thought out, and they didn't adapt. I guess they tried screens, but I mean, there's more ways to get the ball out quick than screens. And the Vikings have been good against screens for a long time. Come on, Sandy. I don't think our team really showed up today. I think everyone's playing like trash. There we go. Yeah, Detroit, their pass rush is not very good, but they actually are pretty high in sacks. I think it's skewed because they have, I know one of their linebackers has like 5 sacks or something. Just, they're getting some good blitzes is all. Detroit's got to get an edge rusher this offseason, though. If like DeMarcus Lawrence hit the open market, I expect they'd be all over him. Will the Raiders be able to produce a pass rush against the Lions? Oh my. The Raiders have the worst pass rush in the NFL. I don't think the Lions will let that happen again. The Raiders are averaging like a sack and a half per game or something pathetic.
The count is 1 and 2.
I need to get my swing right.
Nope.
Ooh, I got lucky there. That one did not look good to me. Yeah, Detroit's matchup yesterday was brutal.
You got 3 and 2.
I'm still late on his fastball, and it's not fast. That was right down the middle, too. Man. Cannot hit right now.
How about it? Third baseman. Miguel Sano.
That's a ball. Ball 1, no strike.
My one hit was with Sano. How about those Panthers? I'm really impressed because I was very down on the Panthers this year. I thought they lucked out too much last year in their close games. And then getting Norv Turner this year, I haven't seen a good Norv Turner offense in a while, so I didn't think it would happen this year. And they've been great. I do think that Turner has adapted. They're using the talent they have the right ways. I mean, Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore are two young guys that are, you know, still trying to find their way and whatnot. Because I get another hit with Sano. But it's a Norv Turner offense where they're not just throwing 7-step drop comeback routes. They're actually like throwing a lot of screens, and they're setting up the receivers for a lot of yards after the catch. And it's the right way to play their with their players, I feel. So it's a good job by Turner. Cam is really good. I think he's having a great year. And they're feeding McCaffrey a lot. I also thought Olsen was done. Like, I thought he was done. And he isn't. I thought the injuries were just too much. But, no. Yeah, I wasn't a huge Curtis Samuel guy at Ohio State. Not that I saw his entire body of work there. But there are ways to use him for sure. That was a decent swing. Just a horrible result. All right, I want to face some new pitchers.
Leading off the board for the Pirates. Hector.
Yeah, the Texans started out, what, 0-3, which is pretty much like your odds of making the playoffs after starting 0-3 are very low. And then they've won, how many games is it in a row now? 5? Just keep finding a way. That's a pretty dangerous team potentially in the AFC. Are the Packers done in the NFC North? I can't write them off quite yet. I already saw their schedule a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, all right, they have a good chance to finish 5-0. So what happens in between? You got the Seahawks, the Bears, and the Vikings. They need to, like, sweep those games. They can't lose to the Vikings because that's going to give the Vikings the tiebreaker. They can afford to lose to the Bears if there's a team to lose to there. But they can't afford to lose to the Vikings. If they lose to the Vikings and the Vikings sweep the Bears, it's pretty much done deal. Yeah, the Texans could have that division, but you got to think that eventually Jacksonville gets better, right? I mean, this is almost the same exact team that went to the AFC title game a year ago, and they didn't lose much. But they're sure losing a lot of games, that's for sure. Yeah, the Texans are pretty fortunate right now with their division situation. Let's play against Philadelphia. Any recommendations for a franchise for an MLB The Show newbie? Well, it depends on what kind of team you want. If you want like a full-on rebuild, you go with like the Orioles. Especially if you have like updated rosters. Like they don't have much for you to work with right now as far as MLB ready talent. And then you got like the bad Chris Davis contract and whatnot. That is if you live somewhere in the cold and you're going to be playing a lot of video games indoors for a couple of months and you got to kill some time. Otherwise, I think the Braves are awesome with their young talent. You could develop them over the long haul. I think the Brewers are a good one if you also just want like some good talent to play with. The White Sox, if you want a project, but maybe not as big of a project as the Orioles. Can Patrick Mahomes win MVP? I think he has a good shot. If he takes the Chiefs to say 13-3 or better record, I think there'd be a really good chance of it happening.
Leading off the afternoon for Philadelphia, second baseman, Jorge Mateo.
Yeah, it does seem like Cleveland's going into rebuilding mode a little bit. You know, it takes some real, like, honesty to do it from their perspective because they were just a division champion winning team and they have a good roster, but they have a lot of guys getting older. So when you have Ramirez and Lindor to build around.
No strike.
Did that recover? What was that? Just out of reach. Yeah, it looked like OBS had an issue there, but we're back. That was weird.
Batting fourth, third baseman number 7, Michael Bronco.
The Rams' defense is good but overrated. I think that's a pretty good way to put it. Like, they have a really good front four. But I think that the rest of their defense is pretty overrated. But they're also not at full strength. Like, Keep Talib isn't playing. Marcus Peters was banged up like a month ago. I don't know if he still is.
Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
But he's not playing well either. There we go. The Rams' defense, though, is not as scary as it was made out to be. The front four is terrifying, yeah, but it takes more than a front four to make a defense. What do I think of the Bills' quarterback situation? It's terrible. The whole offense is a mess with them. Whenever they get a first down, it's like a celebration.
Bang! That got him. First base.
Biggest surprise from the NFL this season? I think just how much Patrick Mahomes is dominating. Not that he's good, because like I was excited to watch him play, but the fact that he is already so dominant, I think, is a huge surprise.
1-1.
Man, at this rate, I have a better chance at getting hit than getting a hit. That was a home run ball right there. If I can just catch up a little bit on my timing. I'm just a little bit late. Not much. Yeah, he did get beat on that Michael Thomas touchdown. You know, Peters getting beat for touchdowns is nothing new. It's just normally he gets, you know, his interceptions and he'll make his plays. Peters' play style is not one of consistent dominance usually. All right, an 8-pitch at bat here. And a walk. What have I missed? I gave up 6 runs in the first inning today because they hit everything, no matter what I threw. But 2 aboard here in the first for us. And this pitcher's all over the place. He almost has 2 hits batsman already, a walk. How many strikes on those 11 pitches? I'm not sure where it shows. Yeah, I do think Nick Mullins will replace C.J. Beathard for the year. And I want to see him play. I want to see more. When a quarterback does well, you just want to see him keep playing. Alright, didn't hit that as hard as I thought I could. Yeah, Drew Brees could very well win the MVP this year. He's playing on another level. Brees has always been efficient, but just the fact that he's so efficient while getting all the big plays, his accuracy is just amazing. Everything, I'm a little bit late on. Everything. I'm consistently just barely in the yellow.
Yep, that ball went out.
That one is ripped into right to a fielder who didn't have to move.
Leading off for the Phillies, left fielder, Nick Williams.
How is your fantasy football team doing, Kane? Actually, this has been my best fantasy season ever. My team right now, I'm only in 1 season-long league. My team is undefeated, about to turn 9-0. It's week 9, right? However many weeks it is, that's how many wins I have. I took Todd Gurley #1 overall in this league, and I took James Conner with the last pick of the draft. Conner was still around, and I'm like, you know, Le'Veon had 400 touches last year. He's skipping the offseason again. I'm classifying him as an injury risk, and that role is so valuable, I need the backup. And it turns out James Conner is just getting a Le'Veon Bell workload. So, yeah, my team has those 2. I have Matt Ryan, who's having an amazing year. Michael Thomas, Brandon Cooks. My team is stacked. Devontae Adams. I just nailed like every pick this year. So I've just been steamrolling teams. It's nice for a change. I think my only bad call was drafting both Rex Burkhead and Chris Hogan, because I was just like, for some reason I had it in my head those 2 were going to get so much work.
That pitch is in. Ball 4.
Batting ninth, catcher, Jorge Alvarez.
Missed that one, got away with it.
I got the count 1 and 2.
I don't know if if I'll make it to any Vikings games this year. I hope to down the stretch. I'll have to see what home games are left. Nice job, Fulte. After the Bills game, I was like, I don't know if I want to see this team. Because, like, the Bills game was one that I wanted to go to. And then once that happened, I'm like, I was better off staying home.
Ball, that pitch is up.
Is your league any good, though? There are some other good teams in there, but I'm just in a different class right now with my roster.
Ball in.
It's a pretty casual league. See, I'm just consistently barely in the yellow.
No, that's down.
At least I'm taking a lot of bad pitches. 4 straight fastballs now.
That's ball.
And another walk.
Batting 7.
I don't know what the whole situation with Le'Veon is. It's just... It's really strange to see there be, like, no deal, and at the same time he's just not showing up. Like, players don't usually test teams like this. Well, Le'Veon is changing things for sure. It's hard to, like, imagine him playing more with the Steelers, though, the way this is gone. Okay, that was a good swing, then. Just bad contact is all. I don't know if it's just been because I haven't played like a ton lately. Like, I thought my games I played toward the end of the year were all right. Hit for the cycle at Charlie Blackmon. But there was a patch put out recently, and I'm not sure if that affected anything, but I know my contact, I'm just not making solid contact even on good swings as much. But I also know my timing has been off for a lot of my sessions here, so I don't want to change anything yet besides my play. Oh, come on, that was a good curve. Work on the slider. That's not working on it. That was a bad pitch. What? The circle was there, it lied to me.
Number 15.
Man, have you ever seen outfielders have to work the way mine have in this stream? Where are the routine plays? I'm not getting them.
That's a ball.
What do you want, Garver? Fastball low?
That's ball 2.
I do ask Garver a lot for like pitches in certain spots. Who do I think is the NFL MVP? For me, it'd be either Breeze or Mahomes. Harold, thank you for the super chat. You were talking about how terrible the Bills offense was earlier. What about the Jets? Yeah, they've only had a handful of games this year scoring over 20 points. You know, rookie quarterbacks tend to be very bad, and Darnold is not playing very well. He's making a lot of mistakes. The offense isn't moving. They didn't have a great offensive line coming into the season. Like, nothing here is a major surprise. So, to me, it's just kind of, it's a little typical. I'm not really surprised by anything. I think next year is the time to start really evaluating it. Obviously, you hope he has a couple more good games before this season's over.
Leading off with a quinn. Center fielder, Byron Buckner.
D-Rock.
Here are my settings, by the way, that I play on. Hall of Fame difficulty for everything. For hitting, I obviously don't like the PCI. I don't like analog swings. I don't like zone hitting. I'm not even sure how zone hitting really works because I don't do it. I just do directional. I don't like having to aim. My idea there is that I shouldn't have to aim. I'll swing early if I want to go and pull the ball. I'll swing late if I want to push the ball. I don't like guess pitch. It's a too gamey of a mechanic. I like that they let you turn all this stuff on or off, whatever you like.
I got a ball, 1 strike.
Alright, Byron, you hit better against righties.
1 ball.
How late was that?
2 strike.
When I start focusing on timing too much, I give up all the discipline. I wish they had a good batting practice feature in franchise mode. If I got out of it, I could probably get some practice cuts in there. That's probably what I would have done had I not just spent like a half hour trying to line up audio before the stream began.
Right fielder number 66, Yasiel Puig.
D-Rod.
Good timing and nothing. I'm not sure if they messed with anything this last patch, but I know that it feels a little off. I feel like I'm swinging with one of those pool noodles that are like 99 cents. And the ball is like a shot put.
Leading off for the Phillies, left fielder,
What's happening, Fulte?
3.
I want to go back to the plate. I want to hit.
leading off for Portland.
Another question here. We got one from K-Arc Reviews. Thank you for the super chat. Just put the ball in the air and humor me. Reaching on errors, walks, and hit by pitches more than I'm actually earning my hits. I hope you're having a great day, Hurricane. A quick question. Who do you think will face one another in the NFC and AFC championships this year? Right now, I would say, well, I know the easy choices. I know the easy ones. Those would be the Pats and the Chiefs and the Saints and the Rams. All right, Taylor Motter gives this one a ride. A lazy fly as opposed to a soft ground out. I just checked the MLB The Show Reddit. The patch did mess with contact. People are complaining about it. Why are they putting out gameplay patches this far after release? Like, just stop.
D-Rod. No balls, 2 strikes.
I just want to hit so bad I'm swinging at everything. I might do some BP after this.
Hey!
Now back.
All right, guard.
43.
Counts 1-0.
Thoughts on the rookie quarterbacks so far, and who do you think will be a franchise quarterback for their team in the future? I'm still a big Baker Mayfield fan. I'm interested in how they play now with like Hugh Jackson gone, Todd Haley gone, the changes they make. I know they already involved Duke Johnson a bunch yesterday, and that's a good change for them.
Number 15.
But you know, since he really got into the starting role, they had the good game where he got them a victory and everything, and then since then they've been pretty disappointing. But I still think that Baker's going to be really good. I just thought he was a tremendous prospect coming into this year. Toasted Network. How come you don't curse when you're playing video games? I'm not that mad about anything when I'm playing the sports games usually. But it's not something I really ever wanted to be part of my YouTube persona here. I don't really think it fits that well, and I just don't like it, I guess. Thank you for the super chat. But going back to the questions about who I think will make it to the NFC and AFC title games, there's got to be a surprise. It's never just straightforward. I think it'll be the Patriots because they're just so well coached and they've just gone through this so many times. Let me save this quick. Man. Or do we completely change it up here? What about we do Chiefs and Chargers? The Chargers are a pretty solid team. And if they get Bosa back later and they get even better, watch out. Let's do Chargers and Chiefs. And in the NFC, I'll say Saints and Vikings. They get their rematch. How about that? Although I don't actually think the Vikings are going to make it that far this year. Custom practice, is that what I want? I'd love to see the Chiefs and Chargers though in the AFC title game. Last thing I want to see is more Patriots games that matter in January. Create play. Can I change who's on offense? I'll have to check out the Reddit. I didn't think about that, but I know that things seem a little off, but I know my swing is also off, so I don't want to just blame the game. But I feel like too many of my good swings are not getting me anywhere. I'm just like flying out. I'm getting good contact or good swing and just a weak ground ball. It's strange. The practice mode in here is weird. I don't want the detailed practice right now. I just want to like swing 50 times and get right. I guess I'll just be the away team and try to swing. Yeah, I've been hyping up the Chargers now for a while because I love their roster and it looks like it should be really good. This year, they are winning their games. They're actually hanging on. They're still missing extra points and field goals every week, but now it's not costing them as often. So the Chargers might realize their potential. Thank you, Harold, for the super chat. Kind of random, but since you're a Vikings fan, I guess it kind of makes sense. When I was devastated to let go of Brian Robinson because I like 96 questions. 96 questions was a really good show on Vikings.com. Yeah. They definitely missed both B-Rob's leadership and his show. And his show is really good. I get a hit here. Do I play Fortnite? I don't. I kind of pay attention. I can't say I really pay attention to it fully. But I think just the phenomenon of Fortnite is pretty cool to see a game blow up like this that wasn't expected to. But no, it's not my kind of game really. The shooting mechanics, the jumping, the building, it's not what I'm looking for in a shooter. I love third-person shooters, and one of my favorite games is Ratchet and Clank. But they didn't take like a Ratchet and Clank route with it with the weapons. It's still like your standard assault rifle, SMG, and whatnot. They didn't get creative with the guns at all. It's all just guns. it doesn't really mesh the way I like. If I'm gonna have like, you know, your AR, your SMGs, and your sniper rifles, I want a more tight experience. Like Call of Duty and their aiming mechanics and their gunplay is just so much better. I don't want to experience it any other way. Battlefield does it well. I don't want a game that takes those mechanics and can't do it at a high level. I don't think Fortnite's shooting is very good at all. I have played, though. I have not played well. Do I play any racing games? I'm not at the moment, but I do, from time to time, I do get sucked into them a little bit. I was enjoying the Crew 2 for a while. I also like the Forza Horizon games, but I don't play my Xbox a ton, so I don't usually end up finishing them. Ooh, that was a decent swing, right? It was good timing on a 97, so that's something. That's in the air from Rosario. I could honestly be doing all this in game. This is no different. This is not really practice. It's like a simulated game. I just wanted to take, like, here, throw me 95-mile-per-hour fastballs for the next 5 minutes. Throw me some change-ups. Why isn't that in the game? It'd be super helpful if you just want to practice something or you want to get warmed up or your timing down. That's not the way to practice. Alright, we're back in the mode. If I can't hit, I can't hit. Rainbow Six Siege is my favorite FPS. It's really good. It has maybe the steepest learning curve out of any shooter I've ever played, but it's a rewarding game when you know what you're doing. And I have a friend that's really good at the game. When I say really good, I'm guessing, to me that just means like he can dominate pretty much any casual lobby and does really well in ranked as well. And when I can watch him play, it's like, wow, if I could do this, I'd see why it's a lot of fun. There's just so much to learn in that game, but if it's the game you're focused on and you're taking the time to learn the operators and learn the maps, it's incredible. For me, I don't put as much time into it, so when I was playing, I was frustrated, not only because I wasn't playing well, but because I don't think the game rewards people who play casually. They don't help you learn the game well enough. And what I mean by that is I think that having games be so short in the casual lobby hurts the casual player. And I think that because you end up playing best of 5 matches, you might see the same side of the map twice. It's hard to learn because these maps always have way too many doors, windows, rooms, floors. You can't get anything out of like a 5-round game. You need longer games if you're actually going to learn the maps. And Terrorist Hunt doesn't really teach you enough because you don't understand in T-Hunt where people are going to be and where you should be set up. Man. Am I a Kingdom Hearts fan? I've never played Kingdom Hearts. Can't play them all. Have you touched Blackout at all? Yeah, I think I have more Blackout time played than multiplayer. Yeah, I've played a good bit of Blackout. I think I have like 300 kills in it or something, and a handful of games played, a few victories. I like it, that's for sure. I think Blackout's really fun. A few flaws I don't like with it, like 9 bangs. I'm not even mad at armor. I don't care about armor at all, really. I think it's more so the 9 bangs that are an issue. I also think that it also feels like in Blackout the circle needs like some balancing with. I feel half my games end up in the desert over on the right side of the map. That might just be an anecdote and I'm just seeing some weird results. But I just feel like the circle needs to close in a more randomized way. I feel it never ends up close to the firing range, and that's the middle of the map, so you'd think it would have pretty good odds of doing so. It's always like down in the right corner of the map on the desert. How many games you had end at like estates? Granted, I die in my games a little bit too early sometimes, so I don't always know where it ends, but I know where it's starting to go. Yeah, I gotta play Red Dead 2, but I've been way behind on games this year. Haven't played God of War, haven't played Detroit, haven't played Assassin's Creed. I forget, like, before Black Ops, what the game I even got prior. Oh, it would've been Mario Party, but that's different. Not even close.
Batting third, center fielder, Darling Marte.
Alright, hopefully I can hit a little bit better to close out this stream, though. I really wanted to get some home. Come on. I'm simming this. I'm not pitching right now. I can't. I can't. Not with all these defensive blunders.
Right fielder, Ricky Garcia.
I'm liking Mario Party quite a bit.
Third baseman,
I don't have really any complaints about it yet. And I'm excited for Smash. And Pokemon Let's Go. Ooh, I was in front of it that time. What? That's the first pitch I've been ahead of today, it seems like.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
I've always wanted to play this game in VR because I can't stand having to read pitches on a screen that's two-dimensional. Having to read elevations and everything. Sometimes I just get into like modes where I cannot hit in this game. And then I get into modes where I feel like I'll never be able to stop hitting. And right now I'm ice cold. They keep getting ahead of me and throwing a low fastball around the corner. I might even try some all-star difficulty hitting because I can't hit on Hall of Fame right now.
1-0.
Who is your go-to Smash character? It's always been Kirby. But I was watching their Treehouse video, and then the Isabelle character from Animal Crossing has a bunch of cool attacks. So I kind of want to try Isabelle out when the game comes out. Still going to try Kirby. Out here swinging like Chris Davis. If only I was making the $25 million at the same time as he was, hitting 150. And he's still under contract for a while. Oh man, how am I late on that? I was just ahead of his curveball. The Piranha Plant in Smash? I did not see that. If that's one of the characters, count me in.
1 and 2.
Although it sounds like a close range melee character. I don't know how the range attacks are going to be.
Ball 2.
Probably going to be like Kirby though, where you can like basically like swallow your enemies.
Leading off for the Pirates. Third baseman.
Don't remind me about the O's terrible organization. Yeah, I felt bad for them watching some of their games this year against like the Twins. Come on, Buxton, break me out of my slump here. Not gonna happen. I didn't think he'd throw 3 straight out of the zone like that. I gave him more respect. Perfect slider. Harold, thank you for the super chat. Can't believe that Waluigi's not in Smash. Yeah, why would they take him out? I like using him in Mario Kart sometimes. Alright, I'm not hitting with a pitcher. I don't have time for that. Oh yeah, interceptions and sliders away. Can't handle it, either of those. Well, in this game, it seems like they made it so like if the pitcher throws a good slider, you're not touching it.
1 ball, 1 strike.
See, there's something up. That was right down the middle. It was a good swing, and we're out here watching the catcher, like 15 feet away, make the grab. I'm going to try playing an inning or two on All-Star hitting and seeing what I think.
Leading off for the Pirates.
Because if the hitting is being weird, my fielding is causing nothing but errors. Makes me wonder if they like balance the game and like mess with the difficulties or something. Let me hit. All-Star hitting now.
Leading off for the Twins. The right fielder, number 66. Gabriel Queen.
Nice try. Breaking ball, breaking ball, breaking ball. Come on, man. Give me something straight down the middle.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Kane just threw an interception from MLB. Speaking of throwing the football, after this stream is over, Marquise Walker, new episode up on my second channel immediately following the stream. Almost got it down the line. Just a bit behind it. Okay, he's got a lot of confidence in his curveball and his slider. I don't want anything breaking right now. Pulled the short. But thank you all for hanging out tonight and enjoying some action here, even if I'm not playing well. It's part of why I wanted to stream here, because I knew I wasn't at my best. I didn't want to go into opening day and just feeling ice cold, so I wanted some extra games, some at-bats here in the stream or something. But I think I've been hit by pitches more tonight than I've gotten on base just by hitting the ball. I'm not pulling anything. If I'm not pulling the baseball, I know that I'm not where I need to be hitting it. I know I'm not seeing the ball well enough if I'm not pulling it ever.
Nope, ball 1.
No, I haven't missed anything big. Not much.
Nope, outside.
2-0 here to Sano. I should get a pitch to hit, you'd think.
D-Rod. 2-0, 1 strike.
I'm convinced I could sit here for like hours and not get a home run. For some reason, I can hit with Sano. Everybody else, no way. I'm swinging the ball well with him. Swinging the bat well with him.
Number 43.
Oh, that's a good pitch right there. I call that a strike? That sure did.
D-Rod.
I know I wasn't late on that.
Leading off the
Let's,
fourth inning.
quick pitch.
Chapter.
I might do a little bit more pitching. I've just been really trying to fix my hitting today.
Your attention, please.
I'll try another inning. I'll do some pitching afterwards.
Leading off for the Twins. Shortstop.
Why don't I use dynamic hitting?
Polanco.
Well, hitting, like, overall hitting hasn't been a huge problem for me on the show this year. It's just every now and then I get into a spot where I'm just struggling. I had to go from all-star to playing Hall of Fame because I started hitting the ball a little bit too well, I thought. But now, since this latest patch, I'm getting half my hits look like that.
Now batting. Second baseman. John
Good timing, okay contacts. Like, he's throwing at 97.
1-0.
Just by default, the physics are going to require that ball to come off the bat pretty hard, and I still can't hit the ball, like, solid.
Offense off the plate.
He's helping me. He hung up a breaking ball, and I just put it in the ground at the third baseman's feet. I don't care if that was early. We can line that one at least. And then Buxton flies. Let me pitch. I don't want to hit anymore.
leading off for the Pirates. Second baseman.
So we have Sandy Bunty here again, one of our young relievers that we drafted in year one. Last pick, I think 7th round for us. And maybe I'll go through his ratings here and we'll talk about his potential. What can I check in game? What can we learn about Sandy Bunty? I think I have to go to the statistics for that. Player card should do. 74 overall, throws a 2-seamer, curve, slider, and changeup. Good walk per 9, home run per 9, and K per 9 are all right. Decent control, velocity, and break. Just pretty well-rounded, really. And now he's worked his way up through the minor leagues and has a chance to maybe be a middle reliever for us this season. And that'll get him a little bit closer.
Center fielder number 6. Mark
Who else do we want to see here? Who should I warm up for the next inning? I kind of want to see Jake Reed out there. I like pitching with him. There's some players that when you're using in a sports game, you just like, I don't care what his ratings say, I feel powerful with this guy. It might be someone whose batting stance you like hitting. It might be someone whose animation you like for jump shots in a basketball game. Jake Reed is one of those guys where I just feel like I'm in control if I'm using him. And Buddy Boshears was the opposite. I felt like I was about to throw a home run ball no matter what I picked.
Ricky Garcia.
Nope, outside.
One thing I have to keep in mind is like what pitches they're best at, because sometimes their ratings on a pitch are really bad, and you really should be selective when you use it. I guess you could always stick to what they're confident in. So when I get ahead of batters, sometimes I'll take a pitch that's like, you know, his curveball right now, 1-2 count. It's okay if it's not perfect, we can work on it. And if I throw a good one, it's really going to boost up his confidence. I'm not sure how much confidence matters compared to ratings, but I'm guessing they somewhat work hand in hand. I want to see Steven Gonzalez. I want to see him play well. We've seen him. We just haven't seen him play
The Pirates.
very good baseball
Number
lately.
50.
Give me
High
Willie Ordonez.
and hitting for the Twins. Number 9, Willie Ordonez.
That's out.
My guy in all sports games was Ryan Matthews in Madden 13. He was kind of made for Madden in a way, yeah.
Inside, ball 2.
Will Smith. Some of you want to see Will Smith. I can probably get both of them some action in this stream.
Ball inside.
I'm green light here. If I get something good, I don't care the count. I need a slump buster right here. Kidding me?
The batter, a fielder, Charlie Blackmon.
Just late, even though it's in the green. Okay result. My guy in all sports games who I was great with was Denard Robinson in Madden 16. Wow. His ratings were never very good in the game, so that
Ball went out.
that must have been a little bit tough. I listen to the catcher a lot of times, especially if it's like
D-Rod.
just like a tough situation, maybe a 1-2 or something, and I just don't know how I want to attack a certain batter. So I kind of go between calling my own shots and seeing what the catcher has to say. About to play the Warriors in the first round of the playoffs in my league. Wish me luck. You need more than luck. I was watching them play the Wolves the other night, and I could not believe the Wolves kept it tight for 3 quarters. Fourth quarter, things got out of control. But, man, I don't know how you keep up with that team.
D-Rod.
They pitch to Puig the same way they pitch to Sano. They throw off speed away until you lay off it.
It's out.
Now they go off speed in. I'm getting nothing good here, 0-2. Or maybe I will. Puig gives it a ride, and we still have nothing to cheer about. Not even a lucky solo home run.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for Minnesota, number 18, Will Smith.
So here's Will Smith.
Leading off for the
My
Pirates.
first time pitching with him, it was just like a 1-2-3 strikeout the side inning. It felt really good. What do we got here for strikeout pitches? We can try that slider or a curve. Garver wants the slider in. And a good call, Garver. You let it hit up. That was your fault.
The batter, third baseman, Colin Moran.
Counts 1-0.
The slider is one pitch where I don't like trying to throw it for strikes, because I think with the meter pitching and how like hard it can be to get good timing, the game is really unforgiving when it comes to Like if you have a slight miss, a lot of times those sliders are just meatballs. And what? Why didn't you catch it?
Right there. Stay there.
That was a weird play.
How about it? Catcher, Robinson. Torino.
Is Will Smith from Philly? I cannot confirm. I hope so. That'd be great if it was. Maybe it's from East Philadelphia instead. In the game, Deion Kane is magical. Yeah, a lot of those low rated receivers can be a cheat code. It's getting harder, though, to get away with that. I will give them credit for that. With route running mattering more, catching traffic mattering more. You can't just take a fast 65 overall guy and get the same production. All right. Smith was tired coming into this game, so this wasn't really the best time to be using him anyway. So we're going to put in Jake Reed. This is the classic situation we put in Jake Reed.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Twins.
Get us out of a jam, Jake.
Jake Reed.
Ball. That's inside.
Yeah, Lord Luigi, I get some weird fielding problems in this game. Sometimes I'm not controlling the guy that's the closest to the ball.
Look out. 1-1.
And it's a really bad feeling when the game decides that you're controlling some guy who's hardly in the frame. Oh, we're going to get one here. That's it.
He's out.
Your attention, please. Entering for the Pirates, number 26. Adam
Play ball 1.
Frazier.
If I feel I need to, I might stream again sometime before I get to opening day. If I feel like I need to play more games and my hitting just seems so off right now, I might. Yeah, Garver, I know you like that pitch. Every time I make a good pitch, he's like, "What? Let me congratulate you." Full count, Polanco on deck. Give him the heater right here, Jake. Make it hittable. Nice. In MLB The Show, my guy who I could hit everything with was Tyler Ladendorf. I would always trade for him in every one of my franchises and be so easy with him, lower rated than an older player. Yeah, when I played Diamond Dynasty a couple years ago, Devin Mesoraco was that guy for me. And I ended up giving his stance to Jordan Starks, the Road to the Show series that I did. His stance was just money. In the same series, I had Jose Altuve, and I could not use his stance. Thankfully, in the case of Paul Goldschmidt, I do handle his stance, I think, pretty well. Oh, man. Now I'm ahead of stuff. That was so good. That wasn't bad on my part. Not that swing.
Now batting, third baseman.
Just early.
Miguel
Get out of here.
Sano.
Ball. That's out.
Ahmed Rosario. I've never hit with him. Sorry to break it to you. Will Smith was born in Georgia. The dream is over.
Ball. Down.
What happened to Brett Mitchell in the Kalispell series? Oh, you know what? That's someone I should put into my Super Mega Baseball. I was trying to think of more players to put in as pitchers. I think Brett Mitchell. You just affected one of my series. I mean, it's been hard to get some of these backup quarterbacks any playing time, and they're not all going to play when I have a starter I like. At the time, J.R. Battle was doing well, and I liked the way things were going. So, just one of those guys that got lost in the shuffle of things. Yeah, I saw that ad that Fortnite put out for the NFL jersey. That's cool crossover for sure.
No, ball four.
I can't hit that fastball anyway. When you're playing on a two-dimensional screen, that fastball looks like it's head level, and that somehow just hits the top of the zone. I'm not hitting that. Oh, Sammy Sosa's stance in MLB 2004. I didn't play him in that game. I forget what game I used Sosa. But yeah, his stance was really good. Man.
Count 0 and 2. Ball one. The count is 1 and 2.
You always play well with Cardale Jones and Madden? Yeah, I think I played with Cardale Jones in a game over the summer.
Now batting. Shortstop, Jorge Polanco.
You can make it work with Cardale. I've seen it done.
Ball. Ball one, no strike.
What? That's one of those swings where just the contact doesn't make sense.
Ladies, your attention, please. Entering for the Pirates,
Giving Reed another inning
number
here.
77, Austin Meadows.
John Ross is great for me. I set records with Brandon
Now batting,
Cooks.
entering for the Pirates, number 14, Carlos
Yeah,
Gomez.
speed kills. You know what fast guy I really miss?
No balls, 2
How
strikes.
about Devry Henderson? The Saints always have this guy that they just draft to be the fast guy. And because they always have so many other players that are good and they have a great scheme, they just need a fast guy. And Devry Henderson was that guy for a while. They've done that with Ted Ginn. They had Kenny Stills, who I think is, you know, maybe the best fast guy. Well, there's Brandon Cooks too. But yeah, Devry Henderson, he was good. I don't even remember Henderson playing on another team. Now tell me how this guy just golfed a changeup at the knees away. Thanks for joining the stream, Kawhi, and keeping the chat rolling here. Did Devry Henderson ever play anywhere else? I think this season is overall going to be really good for us. I just wonder if the White Sox being better is going to throw a little bit of an issue in our way. There's already a lot of good teams to worry about, and then you're telling me the White Sox go out and they get all these good players. Now we have to deal with Anthony Rizzo.
A defensive change for the Pirates. Now playing center field, number 43. A defensive change for the Pirates. Now playing second base, number 62. Max Morrow.
I'll never be able to hit that high fastball. It is impossible. How do you hit the top of the zone? What's the secret? How do you hit the top of the zone just early? Well, yeah, pitches going up to the top of the zone are like, they're there right away. Yeah, Marcus Colston was excellent. He had a lot of catches in his career, a lot of production. High fastball is impossible to hit. Can't do it.
Up next,
Give me Palka.
your attention, please.
Give me a lefty. You're like I'm hitting with righties
Number 73.
every time. Much better.
Now batting, left fielder, Charlie Blackmon.
All right, Charlie, let's get a string of hits going here. I don't know. I go into this inning with one hit, and then I just go like 2 pitches in a row, lefty, see it, hit it, no problem. And now Puig. I have not done anything with him in the spring. If we had a home run right here, I'll feel great. Maybe you could have hit a home run on that pitch, but I can't even make contact. Three straight hits. They're loaded.
First baseman number 44,
Paul Goldschmidt, looking for home run number 9 here in spring training. That was only okay contact, by the way, with Puig. One thing I haven't been doing much of is aiming my swing either, so I think I'll start doing that a little bit more and see if I get better results. Man, I keep like trying to pull these pitches away because my timing is so off. I'm just like, I gotta get early, I gotta get faster, and then I throw away and I'm way ahead. Come on. Come on! Seriously! I'd rather strike out than see that right now. I'm trying. What can I do at that point? That was a good inning for me. There was no operator error.
your attention, please.
That one hurts. That's cold. That is uncalled for.
Number 64,
Really uncalled for.
Play ball.
Jose Osuna.
That should have been a grand slam.
Now pitching for Minnesota. Number 23,
Keep it 1-0. Let me go to the 9th.
Jenkins for the Pirates.
Jeffress, thank you.
Now pitching for the Pirates. Number 17, Henry Arias.
Will Kane notice me? Hello, Colton?
I got a ball, 1 strike.
Did everyone enjoy that near home run? Perfect bouncer.
Now batting, number 43,
Come on, Garver.
the batter number 11, shortstop, Jorge Polanco.
Up to Polanco to extend the game, apparently. Oh, that was good timing, too. That was good timing on a fastball down the middle, and I did nothing with it.
Whoa, that pitch is out.
Two Tangs, how's it going? Is Hayden John Charles the GOAT of Kalispell? Might be the tight end GOAT of the entire channel. He's up there. I think like Michael Riley. If I had a chance to play like 5 years with Michael Riley, he would have been really good. But Hayden John Charles, finally that elite tight end, and the game is not over.
The batter number 5,
I haven't hit well with Harrison in a while. Come on, Josh. Against your former team, I'm not pulling you out of the game.
That's outside.
That is pulled into left field, and that's going to fall into the glove of the left field. So, for some reason, the contact, I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe it was this last patch. Because certainly, if you look at my ratio of like well-timed swings to good contact, it is not very friendly. I had 5 hits, 4 in the last 2 innings. And I knocked down the difficulty because, like, I'm just playing terribly. So, maybe there is something to this recent patch they put out. I'll have to read the Reddit and see all the stuff there. I want to play a little bit more, though. Gary Tadano on the mound. Heck yeah. And because I was hitting a lot better with those lefties, let's throw a few more into the lineup then. Not that I have many, but let's get Palka out there at least. Oh, Hunter Henry. Yeah, he was really good in my Chargers series. But I'm talking about like a tight end I drafted or recruited. And there's not a long list of great ones. There were some good ones in Minnesota, though. Marcus Williams, Adam Kirkpatrick. Those are the two that come to mind. Remember when you signed Le'Veon back in your Panthers franchise? I do. Le'Veon had such a key role in that. And one thing I'll always remember is how he went through the whole season without fumbling until the Super Bowl. And he gave the Ravens a shot to win it. I couldn't believe it. That was when his one fumble happened. The worst time imaginable.
Inside, ball 1.
So Gary Tadano, I'm really excited to get him into the rotation this year. And I think that there's a chance even that he becomes the number one day, or maybe the number 2. If his strikeout upside materializes, I think we really have a great pitcher on our hands. But, you know, it's disheartening to see the CPU smash the baseball like this when I'm having trouble just, like, getting it out of the infield. Like I've been saying, I feel like my players are swinging around those pool noodles, the big, like, yellow noodle. We're talking about one that's been in the water all day long, too. It wasn't just, like, bought at the store and it's still kind of hard. No, this thing has been in the water all day. That or our bats are made of plywood. They're not even real. I like Tadano's 4-pitch arsenal here. We have the slider, a change, fastball, and a cutter.
Ball in.
Very close. Or it's a slider and a curve. Yeah, no change up for him. Nice curve right there. Oh yeah, that multi-overtime game against Michigan in the Minnesota Dynasty, where I broke out the pistol offense out of nowhere. Were those the same games where I busted out that pistol offense? Yeah, once we go to overtime in NCAA, it's like, okay, this could be, we could have some major fireworks now. It's set up for entertainment. No, I'm not planning to make a new franchise in MLB 19. I want to keep going with the Twins. Good swing. I still feel like I have a long way to go in here, and then consider that the playoffs are tough. I mean, you can be a good team for a long time and not make it to the series, so who knows how much time it's going to take to get where we want to be. What difficulty does it have me on right now? All-star hitting still? I'm going to stay here for the stream probably. So what's my batting average today with lefties? It's got to be like triple mine with the righties, right? I'm not worried about stealing bases in spring training, Pittsburgh. A little secret for you. I don't care. Just a tad late there on the fastball. Ooh. Not working. What was the name of the fullback that broke off long runs in your Minnesota Dynasty from the Diamond Pistol? That was Tyler Hartman, number 44. He broke off some nice ones. That was good timing, too. On a fastball. That should have been a home run ball, and everyone knows it.
Nope. Ball 1.
I'm okay if, like, I don't want every good swing to be, like, solid contact base hit. But I feel like the variance is all negative right now. Baseball's a game of failure, yeah, but it's not a game of only failing. Come on, Goldie. 3-0. Center field, and go, Charlie, go. First and third.
Batting fourth, third baseman, Miguel Cano.
Ball 1. Counts 1-0.
I will never understand how you can see that pitch and hit it. It is really impossible. I'm convinced it is not possible. I don't use guess pitch. I don't like that mechanic. Makes it easier, but... Finally! Thank you! I've been waiting for that all day! All week! Yes! There it is. I pulled it. If that would foul, I might have just ended the stream, not even said goodbye. Fastball, inner half.
Designated hitter, number 73.
That felt pretty good. You'd think he just won the Super Bowl. You remember watching the Browns after they won that game. Remember watching... Anybody else remember that primetime game with the Raiders when they hadn't won in forever and like Khalil Mack and somebody else was celebrating and the other team was running hurry up and they had to call a timeout to avoid being called off sides? That was absolutely like a top 5 moments. Who was celebrating there? It was Mac and who else? And after the game, I think it was Mac was quoted saying something along the lines of, well, they say in those situations, you need to act like you've been there before. But I literally hadn't been there before. It was something along those lines. Oh, come on, Palka. I'm getting the pitches. I'm just not hitting all of them. Ooh, close. Close. Another famous Kane moment, Josh Freeman and Aaron Dobson. Sadly, that was one of Aaron Dobson's best moments in the NFL on my channel. Man, that curveball, guys, you know that curveball could have been absolutely blasted over the right field fence. I'm back, baby! Let's go! I'm back! Bring on opening day! Sometimes you just gotta hit through it. Whoever this pitcher is, I like this pitcher. Another one pulled down the line. Was it Charles Woodson? No way. No way Charles Woodson would have been caught celebrating 20 yards behind the play when the team's running hurry up. All right, didn't need to swing at that one probably. What you think about New Orleans' win over the Rams? Very impressive. The Saints are a great team this year, and they're one of the Super Bowl contenders for sure. Not too surprising they won, given that they were at home and they got off to such a great start. But for the Saints to win back-to-back, you know, they have to beat the Vikings on the road. They got, you know, a couple fortunate plays, but they played a good game. And then to come back against the Rams and win those games in back-to-back weeks, I think says something about that team and where they are. When you can handle those games in a row with no rest, knowing you're going to get, like, two of the best teams to face in your conference, I think it says a lot about New Orleans. Who's their pitcher? I'm sitting here wondering where the stats are. Why do they hide him over there? Oh, those are, like, season stats. Yeah, I want to see the box score, and I have to go over here to do it. Not the UI choice I'd have made. Tyler Glasnow, he is the beast. Thank you.
The first baseman, number 55.
1-0.
C.O. Moore, is that who it was? C.O. Moore, who got traded to the Colts. And then, I'm not even sure if he's in the league. What difficulty do you play on? Normally Hall of Fame, but today I've been so cold I've been hitting on All-Star for like the last hour, half hour or so. Something along those lines. I'll get it back to Hall of Fame. I'm just trying to get my confidence back up. I might try another inning on Hall of Fame. I'm not going to play this entire game. Probably going to end the stream sometime soon, but man, I feel great now about getting those 2 homers and getting a little positivity here. That was nice. Oh, how come that hasn't gotten better? That animation just screwed me. He had to step over the bag. Those first base animations in baseball games have never been very good. Is there a game that did them well? Saints finally have a defense that doesn't let up 500 yards per game. Yeah. That's been the difference here. They went 7-9 so long, I forgot that the Saints still had the potential to be good. It felt like the era had come and gone, but now that they get a semblance of a defense, and sometimes a very good defense, game changer. I do think, though, just the way the MVP award works, it's not like a formula chooses it. I think the fact that the Saints are very good this year, they're probably going to win at least 12 games. Brees has broken a bunch of records. I think right now I'd say that Drew Brees is the favorite to win MVP. Not that he doesn't deserve it, but I think the fact that he's broken all these records, the fact that he's never won an MVP, if Patrick Mahomes doesn't finish the year with like a 14-2 record with like 45 touchdowns, I think Brees is the MVP.
Batting ninth, shortstop, Lewis.
This is the first out? This inning's been terrible. I had no idea it was that bad. I was just playing. I was just going through the motions. Let me get Tony Watson out there sometime soon, though. Daniil Hunter should win Defensive Player of the Year easy. Hey, I think he's got a shot. If he can get to 20 sacks, especially. He's at like 11.5 or 12 right now. He had 3.5 yesterday. He has a sack in all but one game this year. And I think that the one against the Saints probably should have been ruled a sack, but it was ruled a tackle for loss instead.
I got the count 1 and 2.
The one player I haven't mentioned in the conversation for MVP is Todd Gurley. I think he should be in the conversation, but it's so easy for a quarterback to like out-argue a running back for that award. Like when Adrian Peterson did it, he pretty much like won 4 games in a row for the Vikings to send them to the playoffs. Like Gurley ain't doing that because he doesn't need to, so it kind of skews things. But Gurley's been incredible. Tadano, not so incredible today. I'm not sure what's up. As we continue to give up a lot of runs. I think I'm ready to sim through this. I want to hit again on a not all Madden, Hall of Fame.
Leading off with a Quinn.
I don't care that I'm losing. I'm winning in my heart.
1-1.
I don't know. I think that Mahomes is shedding that label of being a boomer bust quarterback. I think he's showing enough discipline and doing the little things correctly to where he just looks like a solid quarterback with a really high ceiling.
Batting ninth, center fielder,
I thought Mahomes would have way more mistakes early in his career, and maybe we would have saw them if he was truly a rookie, but he had a whole year on the bench and then played in week 17.
Ball 1, no strike.
So I had a good swing there with Polanco, just got an unlucky stop by the first baseman.
Whoa, that's just down.
But I might do another one of these streams, maybe Wednesday or something. I did not need to swing at that. Why didn't you stop me?
D-Rod.
That was pretty filthy. I timed it up. I know when I was young, I had absolutely zero discipline hitting. I could time up anything, but the catch was I would swing at every pitch pretty much. Now I have a lot more discipline at the expense of timing. Not a bad swing there by Charles. I might get one more inning of hitting. I think I'll throw Watson out there, though, just because I haven't pitched with him today. Do you want to see another one of these streams maybe in a couple days? Hopefully I can get a more complete gameplay stream, but I got those 2 home runs. I feel good now. I feel great.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Dark Horse Super Bowl team. If I had to pick one, it would be the LA Chargers.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
They're protecting Phillip Rivers for the first time in my memory. Maybe since they had, like, Marcus McNeil at tackle. You know, if they get Bosa back and the defense takes it up a level even, that's going to be awesome. Their offense has a great group of playmakers with Keenan Allen and Melvin Gordon. And Tyrell Williams. Like, he seems to be good for a big catch every week now, it seems. Mike Williams has had a good season. Oh, rain delay? This is like the third one I've gotten. The rain is not falling that hard. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You know how many times I'd hit that pitch if you threw it to me 100? I would hit it negative times. That was filthy. That's Tony Watson right there against his former team. He's about to make that poor hitter retire. Who was that? His career is over. Who was this? Scott Schebler. His career just ended right there. When you can use a good pitcher in this game, you know the difference. You know how it feels. Good stuff, Puig. Julio scored yesterday. What do you think of that? I don't want anyone to get confused with me, like, poking at the Julio Jones situation as being like, I don't like him or I think he's a bad receiver or overrated. I just thought it was hilarious how a guy that talented can consistently not find the end zone. And for him to score on a screen where he almost got, like, taken down at the one, it was so perfect. The universe tried everything to make Julio never score, but he outmuscled the universe to do it. With that being said, I still rank DeAndre Hopkins higher on the wide receiver list, but it's so thin it doesn't matter. Who's your favorite NFL player minus Teddy Bridgewater? Well, right now, probably Adam Thielen. What he's been able to do these last 3 years with the Vikings. Everyone knows his story by now. Undrafted. Hardly any attention coming out of high school. $500 scholarship to Minnesota Mankato State. Was going to sell dental equipment. Grew up a Viking fan.
The first baseman, number 44,
Man. All right, get it together. The home runs were a couple innings ago. That one's not out, but I hit a pitch upstairs. I'm happy about that. Yes, I do think the Browns will win another game this year. Not sure against who, though. I can hit with Sano. I can hit with Miguel Sano. Phillip Rivers is the most slept-on quarterback of all time. That is an accurate take, Jace. Rivers was just in the wrong era. You know? In an era that featured Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. To be just like a 5 through 10 quarterback in this era, you're going to be almost forgotten. Ben Roethlisberger had a lot of great years. I feel like Mike Vick got more attention than Phillip Rivers. I feel like Matt Ryan's gotten more attention than Phillip Rivers. We're in the golden age of quarterback play, if you didn't know that already.
One ball, 2 strikes to count. I got to count 2-2.
Thoughts on Marcus Peters and his struggles recently? Well, I wonder if any of it is injury related, because I know he did get banged up a couple weeks ago, or like a month ago, and he was not expected to play in the Vikings game and then did. But I mean, I feel like he's always been a high variance corner, and we're just getting more of the negative right now. Yeah, I just think he's having a bad stretch. Do I think Hunter can get 20 sacks? I absolutely think he can. Do I think he will, though? I'm going to say yeah. Danielle Hunter is a monster, and the players that he's lining up alongside, I mean, sure, you can chip Danielle and do whatever you want, but that doesn't mean that you're safe when Sheldon Richardson's still there, Everson Griffin, Stephen Weatherly off the bench. How about him? He is doing really well this season. When Griffin was gone, I felt like Weatherly was really good. But in the case of Danielle, I mean, that sack record's going down. It's going to go down. We have too many high-caliber pass rushers in the NFL in an era where they're passing more than ever. Granted, a lot of those throws are quick and they're unsackable, but we're in the era where that record is going down in the next, I'd say it's going down maybe this year or maybe next year. Someone's getting that record. Strahan, you're done. Who should the Twins get in real life? They should go get Dallas Keuchel, so I look smart.
The batter, number 5, second baseman, John Harrison.
I'd love them to get Keuchel. I would be happy with DJ LeMahieu. I have to see the full free agent market, but there are definitely some players that I would be excited about if they went and got. The players that I wouldn't be as excited about are if they went after the players they just traded away. Eduardo Escobar, Brian Dozier. Those are good players, but I feel that to make the team better, you can't just sign the dudes you traded away when you weren't good enough. That is drilled into the right field corner, and it's down for a hit. And we're sending Harrison home. Rounding third. It's going to be a close one. Just kidding. But good swing by yours truly. Best receiver Kane rarely used, Eric Carter. One player I wish I had gotten to play more is Clint Porter from the Gophers series when it came to an end. Did not get to give him a full career. Who do I think the Dodgers will get rid of now that they lost back-to-back series? I'm not sure you got to get rid of anybody. I think sometimes you just don't win. Twins should try to get Lowry. I love that. It wouldn't be for a big deal because Lowry's in his mid-30s, but yeah, I'd take Lowry for a year or two. Eduardo Escobar signed a 3-year deal with the D-backs. Okay. Okay. Daniel Murphy? I don't know enough about Daniel Murphy or any of those Nationals. They kind of fell off the radar this year. Is Real Muto a free agent this year? Ah, got jammed.
Leading off for the Pirates, center fielder.
It's been a pretty fun stream tonight, guys. Gonna wrap it up here soon. Next year for Real Muto? Darn. I love to get an upgrade at catcher for the Twins with some offense. Like, the Twins are never going to have the flashy lineup with, you know, the world caliber outfielder. They're not going to have a Bryce Harper or a Mike Trout unless they get lucky coming up in the system. So I like to see them just like get an edge at some of these areas where there aren't a lot of great players, and like offensive catcher is one of those spots. Who's the hottest starting pitcher on the market this year? Looks like Patrick Corbin and Dallas Keuchel. Either of which I'd be really happy with getting, but I don't know if the Twins are going to spend the money. They have the need. They have the money. I know that. Mauer's money's off the books this year. They're not paying Dozier any longer. I mean, where's the money going on this roster right now? They're going to probably, if they haven't already, they're going to decline the option on Santana's deal. Like, this team isn't even spending money now. Their payroll is going to be, like, 0. So go get someone who makes a difference.
Leading off for the Twins.
All right, last inning of me hitting, and then I'm going to be done. Ooh, I like that pitch. Oh, Grandal's a free agent. I would not be mad at that. They're already paying Jason Castro, though, so I don't know if they pay another catcher. Especially if they like Garber. I like Garber, and he does have offense. Like, Garber is the same player in the series as he is in real life. Maybe he's a little bit better in the series because he hit almost 300 last year. But, you know, plus offense, minus defense.
Nope, that's a ball. 2-2 now.
Oh, he robbed me.
He's out.
Nick Markakis? Trade Kepler? Yeah, Markakis did some good stuff in Atlanta. But is he going to be able to do that again? I got to get it together with Puig. I haven't done it here in spring. Do I think the Red Sox will have a World Series hangover? Nah, they got too much star power there. They're good. They're just too good. I don't think Mookie Betts is going to slump. I don't think Chris Sale's going to be bad next year or anything. I'm not going to buy into a World Series hangover, really. The season's too long. I mean, if you have a bad first month, it's not a big deal. There's enough time for you to mentally snap out of it. It's not like football, where if you start out like 2-4, okay, now there are concerns. In football, the hangover is it's a bigger deal just because every game is a huge percentage of your season. You have two bad games, that's an eighth of your year. That's 12.5% of your season if you have 2 bad games. And those games are going to be in the span of 8 days. A lot can happen in those 8 days, and maybe you can't fix it fast because it's a very small amount of time.
Oh, that's out.
Do I think Teddy will get a huge deal this spring? No, he will not get a huge deal until he does something big in the regular season. But I'd love to see Teddy have some success, even if it's New Orleans. That'd be a great spot for him in the post-Breeze era if he retires.
The count is 3-1.
Did not need to swing at that pitch.
Yeah, full count.
Full count. Ooh, drilled it. We're not done yet.
Now batting, number 73.
Here's Palka. sit back a little bit more, and we're watching a 3-run home run right there. For sure. Now I'm a little bit behind it. Could see a curveball here, or a bad changeup. I'm getting more comfortable though. I think I'm having a pretty good end of the stream hitting. Ooh. Why'd you have to do that to me? I can't. That's not my last at bat of the day. I can't let it be like that. Sorry. Not done. Yeah, I did watch Teddy in the preseason, but I think if someone sees it happen in a game that counts, then we're talking big money. Do I think the Twins got a steal in the Lance Lynn deal? Like trading him? Absolutely. He was not very good last year. And some of the dudes they were playing in that trade they got from the Yankees weren't too bad. Wasn't... They traded for Jake Cave. Was that the same deal? Like, I like watching Cave. Not sure if he's going to be a high-quality starter, but he was pretty fun to watch. Weird contact there, Josh. All right, Polanco, just give me a decent swing here, decent at-bat to end the day. Into right center field, driven a long way, and that's extra bases for Jorge Polanco. There we go. Cave was early in the season. They got Austin in the Lynn deal. Yeah, Tyler Austin. I don't think they're gonna like win that deal like big or anything. I just think Lynn was overrated last year and didn't produce for him. So close. Will you settle for a base hit instead? I'm starting to actually feel pretty good right now hitting. Getting a lot better. I'm glad I played through it and got some extra innings in here. Ooh, lefty, lefty. They're going to try one of those. I think I have to bring in a righty then. Give me Willie Ordonez.
Number 9, Willie Ordonez.
Willie Ordonez to right center field. That's going to bring home at least one, and Byron Buxton will make it 2. This is back on Hall of Fame, by the way, so I knocked down the difficulty a little bit, just kept sticking with it. The true test is if I can do something now with Yasiel Puig. I am still on Hall of Fame, right? Yeah. Oh, man. I felt like that was okay timing, maybe a tad early.
Your attention, please. Now playing left field, number 9, Willie Ordonez.
If I get one more at-bat with Puig, I will play it. Otherwise, I'm going to be done. And we got some base runners here, so we might.
Number 62. Incoming for the Pirates.
Bunty gives up a couple runs.
Now pitching for the Twins. Number 17. Jose Arroyo. Your attention, please. Now pitching for
I just want to hit with Puig one more time.
the right fielder.
Yeah, Cousins has been good this year, but he has these throws like once or twice a game where it's like, why would you do that? What were you thinking? And there we go. I knew I could get it. I knew I'm starting to feel it again. And you see me just destroying these pitches on the inner half now. But, yeah, I think Cousins is just, you know, a good quarterback who's going to make a couple bonehead throws a game. I'm hitting so much better right now. If you watch this stream from start to finish, you'll see a boy turn into a man. I'm back. Bring on opening day.
Nope. That's inside.
Kirk isn't making the mistakes at the same rate, but like yesterday, the interception to Darius Slay was pretty rough.
Nope.
They pitch around Goldie. I have 4 hits in this game with Miguel Sano. I told you I can hit with this guy. Give me a grand slam right here. Ooh.
1-1.
Didn't need to swing at that one, but I've been feeling good.
I got to count 1 and 2.
I haven't seen a knuckle curveball in a little bit. It was only 72 miles per hour. Was not prepared. Ah. That pitcher got me good.
Leading out for Pittsburgh.
Not ideal.
Your attention, please. Incoming for the Pirates. Number 10. Now pitching for the Pirates.
Alright, we have 2 outs in the 9th. Let me just see what I can do.
Now batting. Center fielder. Byron.
Normally, you know, like your Call of Duties of the world and everything, or your one more game, and now MLB's that for me. One more inning, one more batter, one more something. What Minnesota sports team do you watch or support the most? It's always been the Vikings. Always been the Vikings. Alright, these low change-ups are a little uncalled for. That one's hittable, though. And the bases are loaded.
The left fielder. Number 9.
Willie Ordonez. Game on the line here. Hopefully get a good pitch to hit. He's liking that changeup a lot right now, so I can't be too over anxious. He just gave me a fastball down the middle. I didn't think I was getting fastball.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
That's 3 straight fastballs. He's got to be going off speed or something. He did. All right. But fun finish to the stream though. I had a good time. Kane, are you hungry? Always. Always. All right. So I might do one more stream just to wrap up the spring training, but if you wanted to see the numbers, here's what we have so far with a 13-12 record. Byron Buxton's having a good spring. Highest average belongs to Paul Goldschmidt. Miguel Sano's up there. Charlie Blackmon. Willie Ordonez is going to be on the active roster to start this season. Really excited about him. Jorge Polanco continues to swing the bat well. Unfortunately, we have some players struggling, and that includes Nick Gordon, Josh Harrison. So, you know, not everybody's playing well, but we'll see how it plays out once the games start counting. Jake Reed, not at his best at the moment. Hopefully he turns it around. That is going to do it for this stream, everybody. I hope you had a good time. Definitely some rough patches there early on, but I got through it. Gave some good gameplay, I thought, and I had some fun. So I appreciate all of you spending some time with me here in this live stream. Please smash that like button if you enjoyed and subscribe to the channel. I will see you all again with more content soon. Have a great rest of your day. Oh, and Marquise Walker's going up on the